Three AI tools just walked into the same writer's room, and only one of them actually sounded like a human wrote it. I gave ChatGPT, Claude, and a newer tool called Subscriber the exact same prompt. Same topic, same audience, same instructions. No tweaking, no cherry picking. And the gap between the three outputs was bigger than I expected. Big enough that I think it actually changes how you should be using AI for your channel. If you run a YouTube channel, especially a faceless one, your script is everything. It's the difference between someone watching for 8 minutes or clicking away in 8 seconds. The thumbnail gets the click. The hook gets the first 15 seconds. But the script is what keeps someone watching all the way through, and it's what makes them come back for your next video. Get that wrong, and nothing else matters. So today, we're putting 3 of the biggest AI script writing tools head to head. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one fits your channel, no matter what stage you're at.
Let's start with the obvious one, ChatGPT. It's fast, it's free to start, and it's everywhere, which is exactly why most creators default to it. You type in a topic, you get a full script back in under 30 seconds. For a quick draft, it genuinely does the job. I'm not here to tell you ChatGPT is bad. It's not. But here's the catch creators keep running into, and if you've used it for scripts before, you've probably felt this already. ChatGPT scripts tend to sound generic. There's a rhythm to it, a flat, slightly robotic cadence. You've heard it. In today's video, we're going to explore. It checks every box, hook, body, outro, but it doesn't know your voice. It doesn't know how your last 10 videos performed. It doesn't know which jokes landed and which ones flopped. Every single time you open a new chat, it's a blank slate. You're starting from zero, again and again. And there's a deeper issue here that a lot of people miss. ChatGPT optimizes for what sounds reasonable to a wide audience. That's actually the opposite of what makes a YouTube script work. Your best videos probably don't sound reasonable. They sound like you, a specific person with specific opinions talking to a specific kind of viewer. ChatGPT, by default, smooths all of that out, unless you fight it line by line with very specific prompting.
Now let's talk about Claude. Where ChatGPT optimizes for speed, Claude tends to optimize for nuance. Feed it a detailed brief, your channel's tone, your audience, examples of your past hooks, and it actually holds on to that context longer through a script. The pacing feels more deliberate, sentences breathe. Short lines land like punches, then it gives you room with a longer explanatory sentence right after. It's noticeably better at avoiding what I'd call the AI smell, the over-explaining, the repetitive transitions, the need to summarize everything 3 different ways before moving on. In my test, Claude's version of the script had something the ChatGPT version didn't: actual rhythm. It varied sentence length on purpose. It used pauses in a way that felt like someone who'd actually written for video before, not just someone who'd read about how video scripts are supposed to sound. But, and this matters, Claude is not magic either. It still needs a strong prompt to work with. Garbage in, garbage out applies here just as much as anywhere else. If you give Claude a vague one-line prompt, you'll get a competent but unremarkable script. The difference shows up when you actually invest in the brief. Channel tone, audience description, a couple of example lines from videos that performed well. That's when the gap between Claude and ChatGPT becomes obvious. And then there's Subscriber. This one's interesting because it's not really a general chatbot. It's built specifically, narrowly for YouTube script writing. It scans your existing channel, your pacing, your vocabulary, even the kinds of jokes you tend to make, and then it generates scripts that sound like you wrote them on a good day, not your worst one. Creators testing it have noticed something specific. It's the only one of the 3 that consistently nails channel voice without heavy editing afterward. You're not rewriting half the script to make it sound like you're mostly just trimming and adjusting, which is a completely different workflow than starting from a blank AI draft. The trade-off is real, though. It's a paid tool, and it works best once you already have videos for it to learn from. If you're starting a channel from zero, no uploads yet, no history, it has a lot less to work with and the advantage shrinks significantly. For a brand new creator, Subscriber's biggest strength simply isn't available yet. So which one actually wins? Here's the honest answer. And I know everyone wants a single winner, but the real answer depends on where you are right now. If you're brand new and just need to get a script out the door today, ChatGPT will get you there. It's free, it's fast, and a rough draft beats no draft. Don't overthink this stage. Speed matters more than polish when you're still figuring out your format. If you care about tone, nuance, and reducing the amount of post-editing you do, and you already have a rough sense of your channel's voice, Claude is the stronger pick for most independent creators. It rewards a good brief more than the other two. So if you're willing to spend 5 extra minutes writing context, you'll see it in the output. And if you're already established with a library of videos and a voice that's working, Subscriber is built exactly for that job. It's the only one of the three actually designed to learn you specifically, instead of trying to sound like a generically good YouTuber. The bigger takeaway here isn't use this one tool forever. It's that AI scriptwriting in 2026 isn't about replacing your voice. It's about giving these tools enough of your voice to work with. The creators winning right now aren't the ones outsourcing everything to AI and hoping for the best. They're the ones using AI to handle the first draft, the structure, the rough flow, the boring connective tissue, so they can spend their actual time on the parts that matter, the hook, the specific moments that make someone stay instead of clicking away.
One more thing worth mentioning, because I think it gets overlooked in almost every AI tool comparison video. None of these three tools understand what's actually trending on YouTube right now. They write well, some better than others, but they don't research well. They don't know that a certain angle on a topic is suddenly getting traction this week, or that a competitor just covered the exact same subject 3 days ago. Pair any of them with a separate trend research tool, or even just 20 minutes of manually checking what's currently working in your niche, and that's when your output starts looking less like AI content and more like something genuinely competitive in the algorithm. Let's quickly run through how I'd actually use each of these in a real workflow, because the comparison only matters if it changes what you do next. If I'm starting completely from scratch with no channel history, I open ChatGPT, give it a clear topic, length, and tone description, and treat the output as scaffolding, not a final script. I rewrite the hook completely by hand, because that's the one part AI consistently underperforms on without heavy guidance. If I already have 3 or 4 published videos and I'm trying to refine my voice, I switch to Claude. I write out a real brief, audience, tone, one example paragraph from a script that performed well, and I let it generate a full draft. Then I read it out loud once before recording, because anything that sounds wrong when spoken gets fixed immediately.
And once a channel has real history, 10, 20, 50 videos, that's when Subscriber starts to earn its cost. At that point, it's not competing with ChatGPT or Claude on raw writing quality anymore. It's competing on how little editing you have to do afterward, and that's a completely different value proposition. So here's the real question for you. Are you already using AI to draft scripts, or are you still writing everything from scratch? And if you are using one of these three, did your experience match what I found here, or was it completely different? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And honestly, some of the best workflow tips on this channel have come directly from viewers correcting something I missed. If this breakdown saved you from picking the wrong tool, or even just confirmed you're already using the right one, that's exactly what this channel is for. Hit subscribe, because next week we're going even deeper, testing which of these same 3 tools handles thumbnail copy and titles best. And based on early testing, the results might genuinely surprise you. See you in the next one.